What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video. Now today, we're going to be bringing up an interesting topic. We're going to get into this offensive line. I haven't really been talking or discussing about it as much. And today we're going to be talking about Jedrick Wills. So Jedrick Wills is a pretty interesting guy, man. You know, but a lot of people got a lot of different opinions on him. Looking back at it from, you know, what was he, like the 10th pick in the draft? So it's been a lot of different high expectations on Jedrick Wills and a lot of different opinions on it. In this video, I'm going to get into pretty much, do I see him getting a fifth-year contract? Not a fifth-year contract. Do I see him getting extended? And why or why not? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. If y'all new here, we got daily videos. I try to drop at least 4 to 6 videos a week for y'all. Even with this little dry time that we got going on right now with, you know, right before training camp coming up, kind of like the dry area of the off season of football in general. There's nothing going on. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm a new channel. I just started off here in about, I think April. We doing 1,000 sub giveaway. Comment dogs. You got to be following me on Twitter, Instagram, and subs here. Just comment dogs. I'm going to be giving away 1 ticket to a Browns game. I did a giveaway for a jersey. I still got to send his jersey out. I just keep forgetting about it. But we did a giveaway for 100 subs last time that we had a little milestone that we had to clear. So, yeah, make sure y'all locked in with me, man. Daily videos, good content coming out. I try to be as unbiased as possible. And, like, I'm going to try to be unbiased about this Jedrick Wills video. So just going into Jedrick Wills. First thing first, man. Like, if you kind of look back at it, we drafted him in I forgot his damn pick, but we drafted him top 10. I think it was 10 or it was like 8. But we drafted him top 10. I remember that year. And if you went and came to now to 2023, and I would have told you what Jedrick Wills came out to be, you'd be pretty disappointed with that pick. I mean, if we're being quite frankly and being honest here, you'll be quickly pretty disappointed with that. He hasn't shown elite left tackle ability at all. He hasn't had a super great year either, man. I don't think he's had 1 year better than Tristan Wirfs. And they were in the same draft class, and it looks like Wirfs clears him. Now, Jedrick isn't terrible, though. But let's get into some of his numbers and break down some of his stats. And then let me see what I see based on the quarterback and the offensive line situation. So in 2021, he had 4 penalties. He had 5 sacks he gave up, and he had a PFF grade of 66.1. Not good. Everything about that screams mid. The 4 penalties is good, though. I can live with that. But not the 5 sacks. You know, he got to get his sack numbers a little bit lower. Giving up 5 sacks as a starting left tackle, playing 98% of the snaps. I at least want to see him underneath 4, man. I don't think he's been underneath 4 his entire career. At least if he's going to get extended, I'm at least want to see him at 4 at max, like 4.5 sacks max. And I was looking at PFF for these, so these could have been half sacks that they just gave him a whole sack for. But nonetheless, I want to see him at least underneath 4. You know, try to get him underneath 4, and with doing that, I'll be like, okay, that shows a significant improvement. 2022, last year, he had 10 penalties, gave up 6 sacks, and he had a grade of 62.9, almost in the 50s. Not good at all. He downgraded over the year. And I'm not going to say his downgrade had anything to do with the quarterback play or the offensive line scheme. I'm just saying he didn't have a good year, man. He played pretty bad and pretty poorly. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, Tristan Wirfs, who was drafted in the same class as him, around the same pick as he did, you know, he had 2 penalties. He gave up 3 sacks in 2021, and he had a grade of 83.8. In 2022, Wirfs gave up 2 penalties and only had 4 sacks. So, actually, I think I got those backwards. He gave up 2 sacks both years, and he had 3 penalties and 4 penalties. Excuse me on that. So, Tristan Wirfs over the last 2 years only gave up 4 sacks, with Jedrick Wills only giving up 6 sacks. And that's not. I'm not saying Tristan Wirfs is the best tackle in the world, and I'm not even saying that. These are hardcore numbers because all the stuff I pulled was from PFF. But I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of perspective on how much he could be better. Grading out at the 62 is not good. You're not trying to get him for a contract extension, and he's getting graded at a 62. We don't live and die by PFF grades, but he just didn't play great. He didn't play at an elite level by any means. He didn't play at a top tier tackle level by any means. He's about a starter though. He's about the average left tackle starter. And the issue with Jed is not that he's average. It's the fact that we all expect him to be a top 10 left tackle pick, and he's not that. Now, a thing that's going to really be something to look out for, and that could really be one of our biggest issues, is Deshaun Watson's ability to take sacks. We've seen across the board with Watson, he has to kind of watch that. That's one of the things that comes with him. He takes a little bit more sacks because he's trying to create a little bit more. It's something that comes with those dual threat quarterbacks. Now with that puts a lot of stress on the tackles to be a little bit more vertical. And we're going to have to find out if Jed can hold on that extra 0.5, that extra second, while Watson breaks something off and throw a deep touchdown, or breaks something off and runs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to see if he can hold on and block for another half a second. Now, the 6 sacks, like I said, I want to see him at least go down at least to 5, 4. I don't know about extending them at all, but at least just from a steady improvement, he got to get them down, penalties down, man. He had, 8 holding penalties, I think? 10 penalties in total in 2022, man. That's just not acceptable, It's not acceptable. You shouldn't have 10 penalties as one player. That's a lot of drives. That's a lot of plays killed due to Jedrick Wills. And not to mention a lot of the bad highlights he have where he's just simply giving up on plays, blocking for half a second, letting his guy go right past him again in the sack. He just got bad highlights, man. It's kind of hard to defend him. But at the end of the day, he's still a starter left tackle, and I think a lot of us don't realize that we still do got a starter left tackle. A lot of people on a lot of other teams would love to have Jedrick Wills. He could probably start on other teams. He's just not a top tackle. He's pretty average. He's good. He's decent. And I say based on this year, they picked up his 5th-year option, but I mean, man, it really comes down if how he looks with Watson. If he comes out and he has about 5 sacks allowed and 5 penalties, I wouldn't mind him getting a little contract extension, a little bump, But if he comes out and he has 8 penalties and he gave up 7 sacks, he needs to go, man, because them penalties that's not good football, And we'll get into Wyatt Teller. I got a little bit of a concern about him, and I'll also get into Jack Conklin. But, he got to get those penalties down. I understand that he's going to give up some sacks. I understand that he's going to give up on some plays. But I think the biggest concern is penalties. That's a mental issue. You got to be more focused and locked in during game day. But at the end of the day, man, I still think Jed is a good starter. I still think he's a solid athlete and a solid player. I think if he could just sharpen up those penalties, I didn't even go into how many pressures he allowed, but I think if he could just sharpen up those penalties, get his sack numbers a little bit lower, and then stay on the field and stay healthy. We give our tackles a lot of wiggle room. If our receivers playing bad, corners playing bad, quarterbacks playing bad, we're on their heels. But our tackles can play a bad couple of games and we kind of sweep it underneath the rug. So I just need to see some continuity and some consistency. You're a starting left tackle on a team with one of the best coaches in football as far as if not the best offensive line coach in football in Bill Callahan. And on top of that, you know what I'm saying? You're playing with Joel Bitonio. You're playing with Wyatt Teller. You're playing with guys that you've been playing with for a very long time. Joel Bitonio is a All-Pro. Wyatt Teller, All-Pro. Ethan Poches had a top 5 center grade last year. Jack Conklin, he's a good starter. It's like 3 or 4 Pro Bowlers on our offensive line. So I just feel like, you know, if you're playing with all that help, you're not really on an island. You got help. You're in a good system with one of the best coaches. You should be better than 10 penalties, bro. You know, that's going to be my opinion and my take on it. I don't think we're going to end up re-signing him to another contract extension. I hope we do, though, because, I mean, we don't want to be looking for another left tackle to start. But as long as, I mean, I would bring Jed back as long as the money is right. I'm not bringing him back for top tier left tackle numbers, and he's a basic starter. You know, that's all. But I would keep him I would keep him in the system. I would re-sign him for the right price. He's one of those right price type of guys. But I'm not breaking the bank for Jed Wills. I do think he could cut his penalties down this year. I think his sack numbers, I'm gonna predict him to stay about at 6. I don't think he's going to upgrade. I think his PFF grade will probably be like a 67, 65, 64, in that little range. I don't think he's going to touch 70s. I could be wrong, but I really don't think he's going to touch 70s. So, yeah, y'all comment down below how y'all feel about Jed. I know he's kind of a hot topic. And people got a little bit of a hot takes, but, you know, we got to realize we are kind of spoiled. We do got one of the best offensive lines in football. A lot of teams would love to have Jed Wills. Bet Cincinnati would. So, y'all comment down below, man. Try to get this video out for y'all on this Wednesday. It's Will. I'm out. Peace.